So in this video, I want to talk to you guys about alerts. And there are different things that we can do with alerts. Typically, you can either accept an alert, dismiss an alert, or get alert text. What happens when there are multiple windows open? Then the WebDriver needs to know which window it needs to send the commands to. So we're going to learn how to get the window handles and how to send commands to different windows. And lastly, we're going to make an assertion that this text right here, you pressed cancel, shows up on the page, just like we saw in the previous example that I showed you. So we're going to create a constant here. We're going to call it result text is equal to, then we're going to say await here and locate that element. Here is our selector. And lastly, we're going to say get the text for this element. Next, we're going to wait for the Facebook page to load and verify that see more on Facebook, this text right here is present on that. And lastly, I want to show you guys how to switch back to the original window. Even though we close this window, we still should switch back to the original window in case we want to send any new commands to it. Welcome to this video series, where we explore the world of WebdriverIO to help you succeed in your test automation career. Hello, my name is Marco A Cruz, and I'm the founder of automateNow. And I'm excited to team up with Lambda Test to bring you these awesome videos. My background is in computer engineering, and I have over a decade in software testing experience. You can learn more about my company by heading over to automatenow.io, and you can also find us on YouTube by searching automateNow. So in this video, I want to talk to you guys about alerts. And there are different things that we can do with alerts. Typically, you can either accept an alert, dismiss an alert, or get alert text. You can also send text to an alert, and we'll see an example of that in a few minutes here. All right, let's take a look at another thing that we're going to see today, which is going to be windows. All right, so anytime that you're automating something with WebdriverIO, you need to send commands, obviously, to the browser. But what happens when there are multiple windows open? Then the WebDriver needs to know which window it needs to send the commands to. All right, and this is where handling windows is crucial. So we're going to learn how to get the window handles and how to send commands to different windows. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. This right here is the Lambda Test Selenium Playground. And this page in particular has different JavaScript alerts. All right, so here we have 3 different buttons. Okay, so the first button right here says JavaScript alerts. If we click on this, we see an alert that comes up. All right, and this one just has one button, which is OK. All right, so we can only click on the OK button right there. Notice that I cannot do anything else with the page unless I interact with the alert. Okay, I need to interact with the alert in order to continue my work. All right, so once I hit OK, then I can do other things. I cannot click on this and then click on this after that. Okay, at first I need to dismiss this alert. All right, and this is why it's important for us to know how to handle these scenarios, because there will be a point when you will need to interact with an alert or dismiss an alert. All right, so that's the first example. Then we have another one here which has a confirm box. We click on this, and this one has 2 buttons. All right, so it has OK and cancel. And depending on the button that I click, you'll notice down here there's some text. So if I click cancel, it says here you press cancel. All right. The third one here is another one that has an input field. Let's say I enter my name here, Marco, and I press OK. Then we'll see here you have entered Marco. All right, so we'll automate one of these scenarios. We're going to pick this middle one right here. We're going to click on this button. Then we're going to click either OK or cancel and verify or make an assertion that this text shows up or the correct text shows up. All right, let's go to that first example. And here we have the outline of what this test is going to do. Basically, I created a new spec file here called alerts.spec.js. And this is the test that we're going to write. Okay, first, we're going to navigate to that Lambda Test Playground, the JavaScript alerts demo page. And then we're going to find the second button that says click me. We're going to click that button, and we're going to then click the cancel button on the alert. Okay, and lastly, we're going to make an assertion that this text right here, you pressed cancel, shows up on the page, just like we saw in the previous example that I showed you. All right, so let's go ahead and first start with this section right here. we're going to go ahead and find the button, and then we're going to click on that button. I'm going to create a constant here, and I'm going to call it second click me button. Then we're going to say await, and we're going to locate the button now. And the selector that I'm going to be using is this one here, right? It's going to be this XPath selector, which is a button that has the text called click me, and it is the second of those because we know there are 3 of them. So we're going to be clicking the second one. Once we locate the button, we're going to go ahead and click on that. So here we'll say await second click me button dot click. After this, what I want to do is to pause the test for a couple of seconds so that I can see the alert showing up. Okay, this is just for testing purposes. We normally would not do this, but since I'm demoing this to you guys, I'm going to go ahead and put a pause here of 3 seconds so that we can see the alert. I'm going to say await browser.pause, and here we're going to pass the milliseconds. So let's go ahead and go with 3000 here. All right. So once we do that, we should be able to see the alert. Then we're going to click on the cancel button. All right. So that's the next step here. All right. So our test is doing the following so far. It comes to this page, then it finds this second button right here and it clicks it, right? And then we see this alert right here, right? We want to click cancel. Now, the interesting thing about this is that we don't need to find a locator for this right here. Okay. If we right click on this, I'm right clicking on this buttons right here. Even if I click on this anywhere on this alert or the page itself, I cannot get to the inspection of the page. In other words, I won't be able to find a locator for this buttons right here. So what I'm going to do is to simply use the built-in commands that WebdriverIO has to handle this alert. All right. So let's go back to the code. And here we're going to say await, and we're going to call browser. Okay, browser that. And one of the things that we can do here, if you're not sure what command to use, I'm just going to type alerts here, alert. And notice that I have acceptAlert right here. So I don't want to do that. I want to actually dismiss an alert. So I'm going to go ahead and say dismissAlert right here, this command right here. So I'm going to click on that. And what that's going to do is to click on that cancel button. All right. The accept command will click on the OK button, and the dismiss command will click on the cancel button. And next, I'm going to do another wait right here so that I can see that text that is going to show up that says that I clicked the cancel button. All right, so let me go ahead and add another wait right here. All right, another pause. After we do that, again, we should be able to see that message that says you've clicked the cancel button. So let's go ahead and make an assertion for that. All right, so we're going to inspect this text right here that says you press cancel. We see that there's an ID called confirm demo. So we're going to use that information to locate that text or that element and retrieve its text. So we're going to create a constant here. We're going to call it result text is equal to, then we're going to say await here and locate that element. Here is our selector. And lastly, we're going to say get the text for this element. All right. Once we have the text, we're going to verify the text. All right. So let's go ahead and say expect result text. And we say dot to be. And then here we're going to put the text. So let's go back over here. We're going to grab this text right here, copy it, and let's go ahead and paste it here. All right, and that's all we need. All right, so the test is complete. Now we're going to go ahead and run it, and hopefully we'll get to see the text that we need. Okay, so here I have the test executing on Lambda test, and here we can see that it's showing the video. So let's go ahead and maximize this. We see that it clicks the button, we see the alert, it presses cancel, and here we see the text. And hopefully this test will pass. All right, so the test is done. If you go back to the code, we can see that the test has passed. So in this next scenario here that we have is talking about different windows, having multiple windows open at the same time. Most of the time, let's say 99% of the time, you're dealing with a single window, right? When we're writing an automation script. Now, this is another example in the Lambda test playground in which we have different buttons right here. Let's say I click on this button that says follow on Twitter. Notice that a new window has opened now, right? If I close this window, let's click on this other button, we get a new window that opens up. Now let's talk about how WebDriver works. All right, so when you're sending commands through WebDriver, it typically sends the commands to the main window. What does that mean? Well, the main window is this original window over here. Whatever happens to be the first window that opens up, that is the main window. All right. Any new windows that open up, right? You have to switch references. In other words, you have to tell WebDriver, now I want to switch windows. Any commands that you send need to be going to this other window. All right. So we need to tell WebDriver to switch to a new window. All right. So in this case, let's say that I'm working over here and I say, click on this button that says follow on Facebook. Right. If I click on this button and then any new commands that I send, even though a new window opened up, they're still being sent to the old window. All right. So for example, if I want to enter a username or password here, I won't be able to enter it until I switch to this new window right here. And that's what we're going to do. All right. We're going to write a test that goes to this page, clicks on this Facebook button, and then checks that we are on this page right here, that we see this text, see more on Facebook. All right. So that's how we're going to be able to tell that the test has passed, by looking at this text right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that test. And what I've done here is created a new spec file called windows.spec.js. All right. And this is my test right here. Notice that I've already started working on this test, right? This is a little bit of a lengthy test. So I went ahead and started it. And basically, we're going to be doing the following. Click and verify that like us on Facebook button functionality is working. All right. So this is the URL that we're going to go to. Then we're going to do this right here. Find the like us on Facebook button and click it. So this is what we're doing here. We're finding the Facebook button using this locator right here. And then we're going to click that button. Once we click that button, we know that a new window has opened up, all right? And we need to switch to that new window to verify some text on it. So here's how we do that. First, we need to get the current window handle. That is the main window, right? Anytime we talk about window handles, it's basically the windows that are open, right? And this is the current window handle is the first window that opens up. So here I'm saying the main window handle, all right? And I'm saying browser that get window handle, all right? So when I call this command, it's going to return the handle for the window that is currently open, all right? Not the newly opened window, right? The first window that opened up, all right? Then I'm going to wait for there to be more than one window, all right? So this part right here, right? After I click that Facebook button, I expect a new window to open, all right? So at that point, there will be two windows open, all right? So that's right. That's why in here, I'm going to be waiting for up to 5 seconds for that second window to open, all right? This is key right here. It says browser that get window handles, right? So when this one has the letter S at the end, get window handles, basically going to get all the windows that are open. It's going to tell you how many windows are open. And I'm waiting for that to be more than one. So I expect there to be multiple windows, so it needs to be more than one right here, right? If that doesn't happen within 5 seconds, then we're going to see this error message right here. Once we have done that, we waited for the new window to open up. We say get all the window handles. So in this part right here, what I'm doing is storing this in a variable, right? All window handles. I'm saying browser that get window handles, and I'm going to basically store how many windows are open, right? So I should have 2 here, right? I should have 2 windows in this variable right here. Then I'm going to switch to the newly open window, right? This should be the second window handle, all right? So remember what I said, the first window that opens, right? That's your first window handle or the main window handle, right? Any new windows will become the next window or the second window, right? So here we're saying new window handle equals all window handles that find handle, right? Where the handle is not equal to the main window. So what I'm saying here is that I want to find the window that doesn't match the original window, right? I want to find the window handle that doesn't match the original window. In that case would be the next window that opened up, right? The new window, the new Facebook window that opened up. Once I find that, I'm going to use this command here that says switch to window. So I'm going to be switching to that new window that opened up, all right? So this is how this works. Next, we're going to wait for the Facebook page to load and verify that see more on Facebook, this text right here is present on that. And this is where we are so far. We've clicked on this button. We have this new window here. This will be the second window handle. We're going to switch to this window. Now we need to locate this text right here and verify that it's present. So here we're going to go ahead and say const see more text is equal to await. And let's go ahead and find a locator for this. And the locator that I found for this is this one right here. It's basically a span that has this text, right? See more on Facebook. Once we have this here, we're just going to wait for that to show up on the screen, okay? So we're going to say await, see more text dot wait for displayed, all right? And how long do we want to wait? Let's just say 5 seconds, all right? It shouldn't take that long, but we're going to go ahead 5 seconds. Then we're going to write an assertion here where we assert that the see more on Facebook text is displayed, right? So here we're just waiting for it. We're going to wait for up to 5 seconds, and we're going to make the actual assertion. So here we're going to say expect and then await see more text that is displayed. All right, so this is what we want right here. And we're going to say dot to be, and we want it to be true. Right, so we want that to be displayed. And just for testing purposes, we're going to add a pause here. So we're going to say await browser dot pause. And we're going to pause for 3 seconds just so that we can see the window opening up, right? And lastly, we're going to close that window, all right? So let's go ahead and close the window. So to close the window, we say await browser dot, and there's a special command called close window, all right? So we call that command, and that's going to close whatever window has the attention of the WebDriver at that point, all right? In this case, it would be the Facebook window. Once we close the window, I want to add another pause here of 3 seconds. Let me go ahead and copy this text right here and paste it here just so that I can see the window opening and closing in the replay of this test. And lastly, I want to show you guys how to switch back to the original window. Even though we close this window, we still should switch back to the original window in case we want to send any new commands to it. All right, so we're going to say await browser dot switch to window, and we know it's going to be the main window, right? The main window handle. And line 30, where we are waiting for something to be displayed, we need to set this up right here as a timeout. So it's going to look something like this. It says timeout, and then whatever that timeout you want it to be. All right, so I went ahead and run this test, and here we can see the recording of it. Let me go ahead and make this larger. We see that it navigates to this page right here. All right, let me go back, click play. It's going to click on the like Facebook button right there, as you can see right here. All right, clicks on that. We're going to see this new window right here. We verify this text. All right, once it verifies this text, it closes that window and goes back to the original window. All right, so hopefully you learned something new today. Let us know in the comment sections if you have any questions, and stay tuned for more great videos. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of the video. Check out any of the links on the screen to get connected with the Lambda test community, get certified, and get access to the code that you saw today. See you in the next video.